Hello gentlemen and ladies. I am starting on the final part of Baalsrud's trip from the cave. This is still just a crack in the rocks, tunnel. Jan Baalsrud was put here for 17 days in the middle of May 1943 and carried out of here at the start of June. The cave is 6 or 7 meters long, I think, and this wide. Barely room for one person. From here, Jan Baalsrud was carried up the mountain to a valley this way. The cave is located in a rather steep hillside. The river far away down there. So it was not a natural place to go, and not a place German soldiers normally would look for people. From the cave I'm joined by my dad, and we're going up this valley, up to the mountain. It's higher up than the next valley and leads in the right direction to Kilpisjärvi in Finland, where Jan Baalsrud crossed over the lake to Sweden. We have about 55 to 60 kilometers to go, and I'll show you the terrain over there where Baalsrud was dragged by a sled and reindeer. We found a path at the edge of the valley here that will take us up above the trees soon. And now we say goodbye to Manndalen. It's a nice view from up here. And hello to Skydevag. We're going to follow the left side of this hill. No more bushes, but a bit steeper. Here we are at a fairly steep climb with these packs. The waterfall below us. And all the way down Manndalen. Behind me you can see our way out of the valley. It may look a bit steep, but it's not that bad, I think. We have about 300 meters of elevation before we're up on the mountain, I think. We made it. We're on top of the hill. Whew. Jan Baalsrud was dragged with a sled up all these hills, up to this mountain, where he was picked up by the Ball brothers, a couple of reindeer herders, who transported him with reindeer across the border at Kilpisjärvi. Just as we got up here, I spotted on the patch of snow in the background a herd of reindeer. We found snow at 900 meters above the sea. We have 1.5 kilometers, a mile to a lake. We're going to take a lunch break. Here's Kilpisjärvi, I think. We're going to take a lunch break somewhere near here. Just find a place without wind and a good place to sit. The next lake in question, Kilpisjärvi, Langvannet in the region, long lake. We're going to go past here somewhere and towards Baalsrud. When Baalsrud was dragged by reindeer sleds, I guess they drove straight over these waters, these lakes, and further over there. And then to the right, a little bit more towards Skibotn, but straight in a straight line on the mountain's easiest path during the winter. In summer we're going to have to go a little bit different, so we're aiming for this ridge, I think, to get away from the jagged side towards the next lake. We found some snow to walk on. It's somewhat easier than rocks. Baalsrud was dragged on a sled with reindeer here. Unluckily, I don't have reindeer. I have a brother who's strong, and if I had a sled and him here, it would look something like this. We took a breather up in the mountainside. We are a little over 1,000 meters above the sea. We're going to continue on these rocky ridges. They're easier than going in the lowland and scree slopes. So we're heading that way. I won't bother filming lots of rocks, so I'll see you later. So while I've been lazing about making camp, this is my dad's tent, or my tent with borrowing. Mine is over there. My dad's gone fishing and apparently caught some fish. Started raining a little bit, so we ate our meals in these covers. Now we're making some coffee. Just enjoying ourselves. Good morning, it's day 2 of this leg of Baalsrud escape route. We have spent the night near a lake at 1,000 meters and we're going to walk across lots of rocks today near some other lakes. I'll show you the main parts of that hike. For now we're just about to enjoy our coffee and breakfast. Here we are a little further along. We come almost to a big lake and we're going somewhere over there. This terrain is all around rough, but it's really pretty. We had about 2 kilometers of those difficult rocks before the terrain got a bit easier. The path ahead is that way towards the big lake. We're just finishing up our lunch break. We've been hiking for about 10 kilometers today, mostly through really mountainous terrain. We haven't been below 1,000 meters in height since yesterday. Soon we're going to look into a valley where you can see a lot of the route ahead, with a couple of lakes we're going to pass and a small mountain pass we're going to climb. We're having to cross a fence for reindeer. So we found our campsite for this night next to this lake, and we're going that way tomorrow. This will be good. Ska jag ta?
Åh, fytti grisen alltså, för en fisk.
Good morning. It's the morning of the third day of walking. Hopefully the shortest one. The weather is still nice. With one last look at our former camp, we set off into the mountains and to the next valley. And today's first half hour led us from the lake behind there, past that one, and up this hill. And now we're at the last high point of the trip. From here I think it's mostly downhill. In the winter we would have passed these lakes and through that valley, but we think it's very wet, a lot of river crossings and marshes. So we're going this way. It's a bit straighter, but we have to go a little bit up and down again. A drier path. We're almost at our final stage. We have to cross this river and go up that hill, and almost at the top of the hill is the border to Finland. So we're almost there. The river had the second stream and there are a lot of mosquitoes. We're going to take a lunch break and dry our feet in a moment. I'm wet. And so we're moving on straight towards the border. We're at the border. This fence, I think it's a reindeer fence. It's at the border to Finland. And we're having to crawl under because that's the easiest path. Here we see the hill over the last few kilometers. The path ahead, just in front of Sana. Finland is only a few kilometers wide at this point. So when they transported Baalsrud somewhere over here, maybe over there, it's easier with the reindeer. They drove straight across here and across the lake at Kilpisjärvi, which we'll probably see soon. Down here you can see some of the cabins at Kilpisjärvi. Baalsrud probably crossed straight across here. On the other side of the lake is Sweden, and they continued down to Keinivopio where there was a telegraph station and they could get proper help. Here we are at Kilpisjärvi, the lake is just there. If I'm going to paddle over and down to Sweden sometime, you'll get to see more of it, but today I've got to get to my mom's car, get my shoes off and something to eat and drink. Thank you for joining me on this long trip. I hope to see you again, and I hope you have enjoyed the nature and scenery from Manndalen to Kilpisjärvi. And finally, here we are at Kilpisjärvi Lake. Before these last scenes, it's become autumn. Late September. I'm going to paddle towards the border. Baalsrud was carried by reindeer sled somewhere over here and across this lake. In the middle of the lake runs the border between Finland and Sweden. Sweden was neutral territory, so once they were across the lake, he was safe from the Germans. Still, they had to travel a bit south along that side of the lake to Keinivopio, where there was a telegraph station and they could call for help. I'm going to paddle a bit towards the border. In these times, sadly, border crossings ain't that easy, so I'm not sure about the rules, so I'm not going to cross the border into Sweden at this time. Here we are, somewhere out on the lake of Kilpisjärvi. The border is somewhere behind me, and I'm ending my story for this year of Baalsrud's escape route. So I hope you enjoyed this trip, and maybe you'll come to do the route yourself someday. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me on my next adventures as well.